Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of You Are the Masterpiece. This is the podcast where I bring amazing guests from different walks of life with different expertise. And we keep just saying to ourselves that, hey, we do not have to be perfect as long as we are taking the effort and we are the work in progress, the same as the masterpiece. So, welcome. Today, I have amazing guest in the studio, Becky Beach. Hello, Becky. How
Hi.
are you?
Hey. Oh, good.
It's so
I'm so
great to have you
excited.
with us.
hmm
Becky, before we dive into the fun topic that we are going to talk about, just share a little bit about yourself, who you are, and when did you start to do, and why did you start to do what you're doing today?
Oh, sure. Well, I'm Becky Beach, and I help women create and scale their own digital products business with AI powered systems so they can free up their time and spend it with their family and friends. And the reason I even got started in the first place was I was working this job that was causing me to work like 60-hour weeks, and I had this toxic boss, and he would talk down to me all the time and tell me I was worthless or not creative enough. And one time he said, "You don't even deserve your senior title."
Oh,
And it
wow.
just got me so upset. It was just such a miserable time I was dealing with. And my son Brian, he was 3 years old, and I had to keep working because I was the main breadwinner. My husband didn't make enough money to support us, so I had to keep on dealing with this awful boss and taking everything he gave me. Just and he made me feel like I was 3 inches tall. I'm 6 feet tall.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just nuts. So then one day, I just had enough. Like he was talking down to me again, and he came up to hear on me, and he was just talking down to me. I was sitting, and he was like over, he was standing up, and I got up, and I was like sky, like towering above him, and I said, I do not appreciate you talking to me like this. Like I do not need to take this. And I told him that I'd rather work at a gas station than spend one more day working for an asshole. And I
Wow,
really
love
told him,
that. I love
yeah,
that
yeah, I
courage.
know. Yeah. Yeah, so he said, "You're fired. You're fired." So I just took all my stuff, I left, and at the time I had started a blog, mombeach.com, because I was just so fed up and I was just doing it on the side. So I went all in on this blog, and I was learning all I could. And I started a digital product store on Shopify. I would sell printables, courses, spreadsheets for moms. And yes, I was just doing that. And then over COVID, it exploded in growth because I was spending all my time on it because like the job I had at the time made us work from home, but then there was really nothing much to do. But we were still getting paid. So that's when I exploded my
Mm.
growth.
Oh my God. Yeah. Hey, Esther Holder, it's great to have you with us. And you know what? I also wanted to say, Becky, I also had a similar story. Must be, like the universe always connects the people together. I remember I was pregnant with my first daughter, and my boss was like really an asshole because he would just make me, like he was
Mhm.
micromanaging me, and he would make me to
Yeah.
check in the morning and before I leave. And I remember one day he was like really on top of me because I was supposed to return the report to him, and he would be calling on my extension like every 10 minutes. Is it
Oh
done yet? Is it
no.
done yet? And then I got upset and I said, look, just if you are going to be calling me, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. And I was working with the numbers. And I said, it's not going to get done faster, right? So to make the long
Mhm.
story short, I had this amazing woman, my coworker Margaret, and I was telling her everything what I felt. And she said, like just be bold. And because everybody was coming and going in that position, and she said just be bold and stand out for yourself. And I actually wrote him the email back saying how much he was looking for that report. And Becky, imagine that he didn't touch that report for a couple of more days. And that was really made me feel like, just what was the point of urgency if you were not
Mhm.
even doing anything with that, right? And I just like wrote everything what I thought about him, because when the time of the review happened, he was also
Mhm.
saying to me that I'm there long hours because I do not complete everything on time, which was the BS. He was always keeping me longer, right? And at that point, I was like, you know what? And he mentioned something to me. He said, if you're not going to, like keep up with what I want you to keep up, we are going to be talking about resignation. And I was like, yes, I want to resign. So I just took that word. Obviously, I took him by surprise because when we stand up for ourselves, because this is such an important story we are sharing, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people in a similar situation, it's like, we are tolerating
Yeah.
so much, especially being women, like asshole bosses,
Yeah.
then, like
Yeah.
the partners that don't deserve our attention and our love, right? So now it's like the time of like really step back and see, like who are these people to behave with us the way that they do, right? So I can
Yeah. Who
totally,
are
totally
them?
relate.
Hmm.
Totally relate. So I am in with everything what you said. And like I also had other stories from my workplace, but I'll save them for later. But you know what? That's exactly what made us to choose the path of business owners, because again, it's not the easy journey, but it's super exciting. And the best, what I love about it, we freaking have our own freedom. Nobody is bossing us around. Nobody is telling us what we're supposed to do, and we can just be fully expressive. We can do what we love that we are doing, and we connect with the people who love and enjoy working with us,
Hmm. Yeah,
right?
so agree. There's nothing better than, I'm excited to wake up every day. Before, Monday was yesterday, but I hated Mondays because I had like a 40-minute commute. Then when I got to the office, oh, it was just beyond miserable, having like this boss tell me all this awful crap. And I've had other awful bosses. I had one that sexually harassed me too. Always make
Oh
comments
wow.
about my butt. So I've had that before, and it's just awful the way women are treated in the workforce. And then I didn't even get maternity leave that was paid. I had 3 months unpaid leave, so I had to budget
Mm,
money to be able to take leave off for my child. And I'd use the Family Medical Leave Act.
wow. Well, yeah, just to show that, like we all go through some struggles, but it doesn't mean that we have to live like that the entire life. And that's why
Yeah.
I'm super excited on the topic that you brought in. It's about how to automate your sales with AI powered systems.
Hmm.
Let's touch on that, because now we were sharing a little bit about our journeys, and like you mentioned, right, that was like the catalyst for you to really step into your power and start doing something. And I just wanted to pause for a second, Becky, and to tell to everybody who is listening that sometimes we are just sitting and waiting when the time is right, but that readiness only comes when we make a decision, because it's scary. Yes, I can totally admit it's scary to do something we've never done before and step into that territory of unknown. But let me tell you, if your soul is calling, if your heart is just, racing and saying, this is for me, then just step into that, because you'll experience the growth and you'll experience the freedom of your time and money.
Hmm. That's so true. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about once you touched upon Becky sharing about the experience that you started to do the blog, right? And you became very good at it.
Oh, yes, because all the articles were about, working from home or saving money because I grew up very poor. So I've always been super, super resourceful. And I could probably feed a family of four on like I made like $100 or so for like a month because I'm
Mhm.
just so good with managing money. And I always have been really resourceful in that nature. So the blog had a lot of articles about how like families can stretch a dollar, and there's countless articles about that. And then that's why I got found. I started making a lot of money from the blog, so I was able to stop living paycheck to paycheck. And then because we were like hardly making ends meet at the time, we had so much debt, like 150,000 in debt. So because it was kind of ironic. So I was blogging about how to save money, how others can save money, but then that caused me to get a lot of money myself.
Mhm. Which is a part of the journey, right? A lot of times people are saying, who am I to teach if I'm still navigating it? But we are all, it doesn't matter at what level we are. Again, remember, we are all work in progress. And at the same time, we've mastered something, like we are a step or two ahead of somebody who is just starting that.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot of people suffer from imposter syndrome. Like they think, oh, who am I to teach this? So for a
Mm-hmm.
long time, I didn't even work on my blog. So I actually started up, when Brian was born, but I really didn't do much with it until he was 3, and that's when I had that toxic boss, and that's when I went full throttle and learned all I could, and got really serious about it and made it a priority.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So share now your journey. So you started with blogs, and then what was the next step that you discovered?
Well, it's digital products because like I had done some drop shipping before COVID. I would sell women's purses in a Shopify store, and I would run ads to it, and I got a lot of money doing that. But then after when COVID came, like all the Chinese factories were closed and you could no longer drop ship. So then I thought, like, what else could I sell? And I thought, I could sell digital products because I'm giving away these printable planners. When someone signs up to my email list, they get this printable PDF planner. Because I majored in graphic design, so I've always been really good in design. I created in InDesign, this Adobe program. So I thought, I could, sell these because people are signing up like crazy for this planner, and maybe I could sell it. So I created my first product for my store. It was a home binder, and it helped moms with organization, cleaning, had cleaning checklists. It was like a really good product, and I put that in my store, and I made several thousands of dollars in a month from that.
Wow, how beautiful. I love that. I love that. And again, I just wanted to point out, it's not like you already had everything figured out, right, Becky? It's not like you knew what's the outcome, but you were willing to try. You were willing just to go into that experiment and see what's the return.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I did try a lot of different products, but I found that the moms that I served, they mostly liked home organization, cleaning. A lot of them like budgeting. Sorry, I got cat
Mm-hmm.
hair on my face, so my cat was just on me. Yeah, so they had cleaning. Like they love like finance because I've always been good with finance. So I made like spreadsheets for budgeting, and I made spreadsheets for cleaning, and spreadsheets for accounting for a business, and all that. So I talked a
Mm-hmm.
lot about moms starting a business on my blog. So I made products that would help moms do that.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So let's talk a little bit about now, because now it's like you're doing something phenomenal. Like you have how many products? Digital
Well, I probably
products right now?
yeah, I probably have about like 2,000 listed on the internet, just in different stores. Because I've opened up like several stores since. Like I have a like Teachers Pay Teachers, Etsy store. I have like a store on a member. It's like a hosting, like a membership hosting platform. I use Go High Level for another store. Yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
several. I have a Redbubble store. Yeah, just lots of different ones.
That is so, so beautiful. And the way you are just saying about it, it seems like so easy. Can you tell to somebody who is just kind of listening and thinking, oh my God, this would be wonderful, but I don't even know where to start from? What would be your advice and what would be your first step for them?
Well, first of all, you have to figure out who you want to serve. So the first
Mm-hmm.
first people that I wanted to serve were moms kind of like me. I also like my own avatar. I was overworked, underpaid. Like I had such bad self-esteem. I would never ask for raises. So I would work for probably about like $15 to $20 an hour at some places, and
Mm-hmm.
I was not making much money at all. So I was kind of my own avatar where I was this overworked, underpaid mom who, had so much chaos going on, and I just had no systems or anything. I really needed help. So then I started helping other moms. You'd also save money and like make money with extra side hustles because I did so many different side hustles. Like opened an eBay store, and I started going to different stores and buying toys and reselling them. Like I would go to at the time, like Walmart always had these big clearance sales on toys, and I would buy the toys and then I would sell them in my eBay store. So I was making money with that and all kinds of different ways.
Wow, you really took that journey. It's beautiful. Like, just show that you were not the quitter. You were just like testing and trying and staying curious. And I feel this is the part of being a business owner. It's like you are just trying on different opportunities and see whatever really works for you.
Hmm. Oh,
Let's talk a
yes.
little. Yes, yes, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, kind of continuing, like, what else they can do to get started. Well, first they would need to find their avatar, like who they want to serve, and then think about the pain points of that person. Because when
Mhm.
I did user experience design, so that was what I did, and I had to think about pain points the customer was going through, then design a product for them that would solve the pain points, and then lead them through a customer journey on how to use the product. So that's what I was doing. So I think of it the same way today when I'm making a product. So think about the pain points, like get a piece of paper and a pencil and just write down what kind of pain points they would have, like struggles that the ideal customer is having. And then you think, well, what could I? Well, they're struggling with budgeting for Christmas. Couldn't I make a Christmas budget planner, for instance, like a printable planner? You could, and today you can have AI create these products for you. It's just insane. What used to take me several weeks, you can now do it in a matter of minutes with AI.
Super, super excited, super cool. So tell us, how do we implement AI in order to put something together?
Well, just I've been using ChatGPT a lot. You can also use Claude to make digital products. Well, ChatGPT can make very, very beautiful images, and it can make with clear text and everything. So you can have it make you a checklist, like just get started. Type in Chat GPT. I'm sure there's a transcript to this podcast, but you can just look at the transcript. But what you should
Hmm.
type in Chat GPT is create for me a checklist that helps, like what customer you're facing, do this, like what pain points they have, and then you could put the colors you want for the checklist and what kind of fonts you want for it, and then you press enter. Then it will make you a checklist, and you can have it save it as a PDF, so it can be printed out. So you would say, save as a PDF printable 300 DPI, which stands for like it's like a pixels per inch, digital pixels per inch, and you would have it save it as that because that's print quality. And then it would output a PDF that you can then sell. So you could sell it on Etsy or on your own store.
This is so, so cool. So I'm telling you, like, even though a lot of people are scared of AI, I feel like for us, the digital creators, this is just a paradise because, like you said, there is such a shortcut of time that we are spending to creating something, and it helps tremendously with speaking to our audience, with the emails, with creating the sales pages, and all good stuff. So, Becky, we'll be right back. I just want to run quickly the short commercial, but when we come back, I have a couple of more cool questions so the audience really can tune in and learn what are you actually helping people with. All right.
Okay.
See you in a few seconds. And we are back on our You Are Masterpiece podcast, and we have amazing Becky Beach with us. And I just wanted to say, Becky, you are such a treasure because you are so
Oh,
generously
thank
sharing
you.
all these tips. Yes, yes, big,
Mhm.
big hug to you because, again, it's so important because we sometimes feel so lost, like feeling like, oh my god, I love something but I don't even know where to start it from. And thanks so much for giving like all these tips and tools, because sometimes all it takes for the person to hear, oh okay, it's possible, and then they have that desire and just ability to step forward and start doing something in that area. So let's talk a little bit about how did you actually utilize these AI in your own business? Because, like you mentioned, it's blowing my mind. Over 2,000 digital products. And it just, like, even, thinking about it, it's like, oh my goodness, when did she have the time in the world to create all of that?
Oh, sure. Well, at first, yeah, AI came out. Like when I first heard about it, there was this site called Jasper AI, and it would help you write your blog post. So a lot of bloggers were kind of the first people that got started with AI because they would use it to write their blog posts. So then I subscribed to Jasper AI, and it was writing blog posts. And then there was these people saying, "Oh, it's creating duplicate content," and Google doesn't like that. And at the time, a lot of people were getting traffic from Google, and they were worried that they would no longer get traffic because if they had duplicate content. So there was like a big uproar about that. But I like use it, for outlines to get ideas. But I love to write. I've always been a writer. I actually have about 60 Amazon books that I've like
Mm.
self published. So I'm a big writer, like Kindle books. I've written book series, and I just love to write. So I would still write myself, but then use it for an outline. And then ChatGPT came out, and it was a more advanced writer, and then it could write complete articles, and you couldn't even detect really they were AI, or you could just put it through Grammarly, and you could do like a plagiarism checker, and then not much plagiarism would come up about it because I would only put articles on my blog that had like a 10% or less plagiarism on them.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can do plagiarism checking with Grammarly. So that made it a lot safer. And then I would use that to write articles for my blog. And then it started expanding. I was able to get more and more content out there, and that meant more ad income. And then more people could sign up to my list and buy my products. And I was getting 300,000 page views a month, like after
Wow.
using that. And then of course the Google happened where the AI overview started taking people's content away and like giving answers instead of letting people come to your blog post. So I probably shouldn't bring that up, but eventually that took over. So now it's a lot harder for blogging, but that's what I would do with AI when I first got started.
Beautiful, beautiful. So tell something in terms of like how long would it take to create the product? Just take something simple. Let's say somebody said, "Okay, Becky, I'm hearing you. If I decide today, I know my audience, I know what I want to do. How long would it take me from the start of the process to actually creating and selling?" Because again, you are the expert, and if somebody wants to learn more, there are links that are posted here, and please check them out and see what Becky is gifted with, because she is generously sharing her gifts with everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so going back to first finding your avatar, then the pain points of the avatar. Like you could just create so many different products that would solve pain points because that's what people purchase for. Like think of the last thing you bought. Maybe some pain point or a certain desire because people purchase based on desire and pain. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just the truth. Like, is anything you buy, like if you're hungry, then you'll get a hamburger or some other
Mm-hmm.
or healthy food, like a salad. Like I'll get a salad because I'm trying not to overeat and stuff. So like I'll get a salad, if I'm hungry. If my shoes, like my child's shoes wore out, so then that was a pain point. So he needed new shoes, so I had to take him to Skechers and buy him some new shoes. And so you buy based on pain. So think of it like that. Like make your product to solves a pain point that your customer has. And if you don't know what pain point your customer has, then why don't you join it's a really cheap option, it's free, is join a Facebook group that your customer would hang out at. Like let's say you're trying to target, moms that are experiencing postpartum depression or something like that. Well, you can join a Facebook group for that, and then you type in there like, what are you suffering from? Like, just make a post and say, what are you suffering from? Like, what you're struggling with,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't put a link or anything. You're just asking a question. That's not promotion. And then all these people will put like what they're suffering with, like, oh, I'm suffering from blah blah blah. I need this, I need that. And then you take all those responses and you could put them into the Chat GPT or Claude and say, hey, could you think of some product ideas for these real pain points? These are actually real pain points. They're not being made up by AI. These are real people telling you real pain points. And then they'll say, oh, you can make this, you can make that. There's all these, it give you all like lists and lists of different product ideas.
Oh my God, you are such a treasure, such a treasure. And we have the message saying, Imagine someone goes to you about digital products. What would you advise as a strategy, YouTube or blog? Becky,
Oh,
would you like
to
to?
sell them, you mean?
Mhm. Yes.
Well, I've created what's called a printables blog. It's mombeach.com, and that blog exists to sell printables. Like I transformed it into a printables blog. It was just existing to make content and get ads, but now it's existing to make printable sales, and from Pinterest in particular. So I advise, getting a blog started, and I have a membership called businessbeachclub.com where I have a course called Printables Blog Academy within that membership. And yeah, so I advise getting a blog started that will start promoting your printables. And then once you have a blog, you could join summits and bundles because people only want you in their summit or bundle. If you have a website, and you can do that, you can get an email list started because you can't start an email list unless you have a site or a blog,
Mhm.
because otherwise they won't even accept you because you need the domain like so and so at domain.com in order to even get an email list started. Like they won't let you start an email list if you're a Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail, whatever user.
Mhm.
You have to have a domain. So you need to get a website started. That's the first key to start getting yourself out there on the internet. You need a website, and a blog is a really good way. It's easy, to set up. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there on how to set a blog up, and it's just countless free information. It's free to do, like a very low cost. You got to pay for hosting, but WordPress is free, open source.
I love that. And also Pinterest as well, right? It also gives a great traffic for people to just like really, like beautiful articles. You can start with articles and then you can always have the links, right? Not every platform gives you that ability. And I think Pinterest is great for that.
Oh yeah, yes. I actually get a majority of my sales from Pinterest. So my Shopify store makes between like 18 to 20,000 a month, on average, and a great deal of my sales come from Pinterest because Shopify and Pinterest have a partnership, and people could buy from my store right on Pinterest without even leaving Pinterest. Like it's integrated. I'm a verified merchant, like a Shopify, and I sell mostly. What sells mostly in my store are kids printables, like because a lot of moms don't really like to buy for themselves, but they'll spend a fortune on their kids.
So true. Yes, that's lovely tip. And a star holder says, "Thank you for letting me pick your brain, Becky." Yeah, that is so great. And I just also wanted to point out that we are right now in the promo for the summit, and Becky is one of the wonderful speakers. So
Oh
register for
yeah.
the summit because Becky has amazing free gifts for everybody, for all the participants. So this is super cool as well. So Becky, give more like like if the person is like watching and just pondering, okay, this is something I think I can do, right? Because again, we just want to show that anybody with the desire and skills are coming, something that we are actually learning as we are going. So in other words, once somebody has the desire and willingness to learn, right, they can actually start creating these sales with AI powered systems.
Oh yes, any skill can be learned. Like I'll tell you the truth about me. I'm autistic. I struggle with social skills for a long time. I had to teach myself social skills. I have trouble looking people in the eye. So any skill can be mastered. Like anything. Like if I could learn social skills as an autistic person, then anybody could learn anything. Because it was very hard for me to even walk into a room and look up at everybody. It was just so hard and difficult. So I just believe any skill can be learned, and you just have to keep at it, keep on keeping on. It's my
Mhm.
motto. Always just keep on keeping on, trying different things. Like don't give up, because when you give up, that's it. I was going to give up my first year of blogging. Like I wasn't getting much traffic. My sister was telling me that I was wasting my time, and my brother-in-law laughed at me when I said that I only made $1.50 my first month, and my husband was telling me I was living a pipe dream, and I had all these people against me, but I didn't listen. I said, I'm going to keep on keeping on. I want to see where this leads. I want to see what comes about all this time I've already put in. I'm going to keep putting more time in. I'm going to see what happens.
Oh my God, this is so super, super inspiring because Becky, how many people want something? And again, it's super important to like really connect with like-minded people because in our surroundings, even where I am, people do not really understand what I am doing, right? And
Hmm.
again, when I initially started, people were also like saying that I must have lost my mind, right? Just not going back and doing my corporate job and coming here and just, like initially, yes, it was a lot of learning, a lot of struggle. But again, if our desire is something that we know, like whatever it takes, like in that song, right? When we
Hmm.
are willing to experience, when we are willing to go no matter what, we know that the way our energy works, it's the same as if we were to learn the new language or if we were to learn the new playing the instrument. We know it requires time, we know it requires the practice,
Hmm.
and that's
Yeah.
exactly what we are doing, right? Nobody knows, like, somebody is learning how to dance. Even the dance teacher can tell you when you're going to be a great dancer, but they keep reinforcing selling, if you are going to practice, you are going to become better and better and better. And that's the beauty of this life, right? It just like explore and understand, who am I? And if I have that desire inside of me, something that just speaks to me, I wake up and I'm
Hmm.
constantly thinking about it. I go to sleep and it's still on my mind, and I am so excited to try it. So then try it. Do not listen to everybody who is going to laugh at you, because guess what? They are not the people who already have achieved something what we want. And back in my
Hmm.
best advice was to anybody, it's like if somebody started to tell me, oh, are you going that route, and I just stop them right there and I say, excuse me, are you somewhere where I'm heading? And if the answer is no, I'm
Hmm.
not going to listen to you, because you've never
Yeah.
took that journey, you've never overcame something, you've never become somebody else. You are sitting in your zone of comfort and you are judging everybody else, and you are putting your opinion on others because you feel this is the right way. I said I am always investing my money into the guidance through the coaches, through the mentors, because that's exactly how I was growing. And again, you want to be in the right rooms. You want to hang out with people who are on the similar path.
Oh yeah, yes, of course. Yeah, because they always have that saying. I know it sounds corny, but you are the company you keep. And if you're hanging out with all these people that are putting you down or saying, "No, you," because like I no longer have a relationship with my sister because she's a very toxic individual and she has narcissism, and she'll constantly tell me that I'm wasting my time. I'm not educated enough. I'm a bad mother. Like just constant, this complete toxicity. So I decided to no longer have a relationship with her, so we don't talk anymore. And if you're having someone in your life that's treating you like that, like life's too short to deal with toxic people.
Absolutely. And I love what you're sharing. And I also wanted to share something from my personal experience. When I was still living with my ex husband and I started to do this, like initially he was supporting me. And then he saw that, like, I'm just investing, but nothing is coming back. And I remember one day
Hmm.
he told me, you know what? If you were so good, and at that point I had a couple of coaching clients, and he said, if
Hmm.
you were so good, people would refer you and you would have plenty of clients. And he is the licensed electrician. And I answered him right back. I told him, look, if we are in the party and everybody knows that you are so great with, electrical work, if people don't need anything to be done in their place, would they
Hmm.
be referring you? Would they be hiring you, right? So the
Hmm.
same concept. It's like if people are ready, if they want something different in their life, if this is something that they have the desire, again, like you were talking about, people are searching for something, whether they are in pain or they want to connect to the pleasure. if these two ends are not, like really obvious to them. Because again, I always say there is something for us to work on ourselves all the time, but a lot of people just do not acknowledge it. They feel good where they are. It might
Mm-hmm.
not be great, right? So, and good is the enemy of great, because they are not tapping into something what's more powerful, right? And they are
Mm-hmm.
tolerating the relationships, they are tolerating their bosses, they are tolerating whatever it is, because they are so scared to step out of that, right? And we are
Yes.
here just to encourage you to say, once you step away, we are not promising that it's going to be painless, but let me tell you who we become in the process, through that growth, through that experiment. That's exactly
Mm-hmm.
what's powerful, because you discover so many gifts about yourself. You are tapping into that inner power that you've never thought you had inside of you. And obviously, Becky, right, with the right help, it's always easy.
Yeah, it's, yeah, so true. You really need like other supportive people in your life. You just can't get through it yourself. You need people, because people are social beings. And I know I just I'm a very introvert. I just love being alone. But then eventually I say, I'm craving some human connection. Like I want a person around. So, but then I'll start getting drained, and then my energy will explode. Like I'll just have to leave again. And so that happens during conferences. If I'm at a conference, I'll have to leave and go back to my room for a while and just, energize, and then I can come out again
Mhm.
and be more social. I just get tired if I'm just constantly being social.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Just, like do whatever is good for you. But at the same time, we are here to share our gifts, our knowledge, and we all have these gifts. Everybody has the unique gifts. And if somebody is watching and still thinking, I do not know what my gift is, there is a room for exploration, because right, the more you sit
Mm-hmm.
with that question, something is going to show up for you, whether there is something that you love to do and you just don't think that you can actually monetize it. Nowadays you can monetize anything as long as you have the desire. Again, you want to have the certain skills, and with the right systems, right, Becky, everything
Mm-hmm.
is
Oh
possible.
yes. Oh, I so agree. Yeah, because you're all about manifestation. Well, I've manifested so much in my life, because if you could dream it, you can get it. Every
Mhm.
goal I've set, I've been able to break. Like I got to $1 million in my business. I got a husband that's like loving and supportive. Like I have a beautiful son. My doctors were telling me I shouldn't have kids, and
Mm,
my yeah. So I have this beautiful home now, and it's like worth $500,000. And I came from nothing. Like I had no electricity or running water in my home growing up. Like I'll have to walk down the street to a neighbor's house to get water in a bucket and take it back to my house. And I manifest everything. When I was little, I actually drew pictures of this house, and then when I saw
mm.
this house, I was like, I just had goosebumps. Like that was the house that I drew when I was little.
So beautiful. This is super, super powerful. Well, Becky, I enjoy so much our conversation. And
Hmm.
again, just check out the links for Becky, because she is incredible. She's very generous and she's very gifted. So, see if this is something you want to explore when it comes to AI powered systems, because all it takes is for us to take that first step, right? We are the ones who have to take it, right? So again, thank you so, so much. That was so great. Thank you for everyone. A star holder, thanks so much for joining, for participating, commenting. And if you like this episode, please share it with somebody who might benefit from that, because again, when we share, we are just showing how much we take care of each other, and together
Hmm.
we are superpower. Thank you so much again, Becky, and for everyone. I'll see you on another episode. Bye for now.
Yeah.